Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I have 3 replays for you in the tier 10 tech tree Soviet heavy tank, the IS-7. So yeah, the IS-7, I'll just get into the equipment and the perks that I run on this tank before we get into the videos. So I've got vents, gun rammer and advanced gun laying drive that I run on this tank. And on the perks I have the usual born leader, rapid reload, sixth sense, steady aim, snapshot, situation awareness, track mechanic, off-road driving and run and gun. Now I will add the caveat on this video. I'm aware that obviously the equipment and perks changes are coming quite soon to the game, so by the time this video actually comes out on the channel, I'm aware that obviously what I'm running is going to be obsolete. So, you know, when the video does drop, if you sort of wanted to get my opinion on equipment and perks that I would run on this tank on the new setup, and by all means I'm more than happy to give that information. Obviously I've not had any sort of experience yet with the new equipment and perks setup, so bear with me on the transition. May take a while before I sort of get into a position where I can properly advise on that. So you know, I'll always try and do my best to inform you guys and give my opinion and try and give you a bit of a nudge in the right direction as to what I think is the best pick. Obviously, you know, everyone has their own preferences, and you know, it's not gospel what we say that we put on our tanks should be the done thing, but you know, I say it's just a bit of advice there for all you guys watching. So anyway, with that in mind, we're going to look back to the IS-7 then, which, let's be honest, is one of the favourites for tier 10 as heavy tanks go. I prefer probably the Chief, if I'm honest. However, this is a fun tank. You know, you can be, I think it's one of the more forgiving tanks. So, you know, if you're new to the game, if you're looking at sort of tanks to grind, I would definitely recommend the IS-7. It's definitely a grind up there that I think is worth doing. I think this tank in itself is very forgiving, or it can be. But yeah, my preference would be the Chieftain over the IS-7 personally, but that's just because I love having the gun depression and what have you. But both are fantastic tanks. But anyway, we'll get into the good points of the IS-7 that I always like to do when I show off gameplay in a tank. So you can see the mobility, which we've already shown off, is very good in this tank. It did have a speed buff quite a couple of years back. Whether that's needed, that's debatable. But the top forward speed is 59.6 kilometers an hour with reverse speed of 15. You got 400 meter view range with 2,400 hit point pull, which is quite nice to have. You got 130 millimeter gun, which does 490 alpha damage. It's got good shell velocity on the premium rounds. You have got good armour for side scraping. The turret armour is very good. It's probably one of the best at tier 10 personally. You've got 12.5 second reload time, which obviously with my setup you can get down a little bit. And you've got 0.54 accuracy on turret rotation. The bad points of the tank is, you know, notably the shell penetration. It is not great at all. You've got 250 millimeters of penetration on your AP rounds, and 303 millimeters of penetration on APCR rounds, so it really isn't great on the penetration values. You will have a bit of a tough time going up against super heavies or anything like that. You don't expect to penetrate all your shots. And then you got 2.7 second aim time, 0.36 accuracy, which is not that bad to be honest. Yeah, for a heavy, I think there's probably worse out there. You got 6 degrees of gun depression, which can make this tank quite awkward to play on ridgelines, which is a bit frustrating because obviously your turret armor is really good. It's one of the best parts of the tank, but you've only got 6 degrees of gun depression to play with. It's like, you know, it can make it a little bit awkward. And you got this pike nose at the front of the tank, which you kind of need to face. You need to hide the lower plate because the lower plate will get penned. It's one of those where hide the lower plate, but you keep your pike nose sort of straight onto the tank that you're facing. That's essentially how you make the pike nose most effective. But I take that with a pinch of salt because, let's be honest, armour in this game is quite overrated, to be honest, and doesn't work, and in my opinion doesn't work as it should. Which, if I'm honest, I'm hoping that these new equipment and perks changes kind of changes that up and does make armour a little bit more relevant in the game. You know, super heavies can finally have maybe a little bit of their place in the game, as opposed to just being absolutely butchered every time they just, you know, get a couple of kilometres out into the field. So yeah, let's see how that pans out. But so far so good with this game, where we are on Serene Coast. Yes, Serene Coast. We picked up 2 kills already. We've done 3.6k of damage. We've blocked just under 2k, and we've done 873 assist. There's not many tanks left, but we've kind of just gone a bit full gung-ho to take out this G-Saw. We've probably taken a bit more damage than we needed to, but I kind of felt like the game was coming to its to its conclusion, so yeah, I kind of just threw the kitchen sink basically at everyone and everything that got in the way. But yeah, we've done okay. It's not been a huge game, but it's just one sort of just, you know, show off tank, and we're getting an absolutely cheeky cheeky long range shot there onto that artillery, picking up our 4th kill, and yeah, we managed to secure the victory there. So let's see how we get on before we move on to the next replay. So we only come 2nd on the board there. We picked up 4 kills, 4.5k damage. Credit to the E75, did have a very good game. We picked up the 1st class medal there, and yeah, moving on to the 2nd replay. I can't believe how old that video is. I think that's pretty much over a year ago, that replay. But yeah, next replay is going to be a little bit more up to date, and we'll see how we get on. So we're going to be playing on Redshire on this map, and it's actually in counter mode. So in this sort of setup, the spawns are kind of, it's going to be a nice game, because we're basically going to be able to play the IS-7 like a typical heavy. We're going to go to the brawl point, which is on the 9-0 line here. We're going to try and see how we get on. There is 2 artillery in the game, so that is something to obviously pay attention to. We could obviously get put in a position where you know, we get shot by them, just because they are going to be focusing this way, because, well, you know, if you're playing artillery, this is a choke point, and you know, why not? So I don't blame them, but yeah, it's going to be frustrating for us if they start landing shots on us. We've got a bit of support coming this way. Majority of the team have gone to the middle, but we've got this friendly heavy tank with us, 2 heavy tanks with us actually, and this FE 4005 in support. So I'm hoping that between all 4 of us, we might be able to make something happen. Now I'm opting to push forwards. Now we get into this Rogel Dawn here, who bounces his shot off us. There's the armour coming into play there. And yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to try and get some shots into this Rogel Dawn. Just again, you can see the gun depression there really sort of causing us bother. But we'll let the FE 4005 take his shot. I don't think he managed to hit anything though, which is a bit disappointing. But we do see an enemy FE 4005 in the back there, so I'm going to opt to go for that tank. But now I'm turning my attention to the Rogel Dawn. Now another tank destroyer gets spotted at the back there, and you can see already artillery is hard aiming this side, so we're going to have to be careful. I think one of them actually hit the FE 4005 and actually ammo-racked him, so that was pretty impressive. But there we go, the artillery is now going to start raining down on us, which is very annoying. But all we can do is just keep rocking backwards and forwards just to try and, you know, dodge the artist shells as much as possible. Now we've lost our spot. But you know, the Rogel Dawn is now back in cover. We've actually done a good job between us all actually getting this Rogel Dawn down to pretty much a 2-shot for us. So if we can get rid of that Rogel Dawn, then we might actually be able to push on. You see the majority of their team are down the 1 line. I should apologise, I thought that FE 4005 got took out, but I think it was something else, a heavy tank that got ammo-racked. So yeah, luckily we got the FE 4005 with us. Now we might be able to we might be able to move on and use him, for sort of help there as a bit of support. One of the artillery gets lit up there, so it'd be nice to get a shot in if we can, but I think he's sat in a ridge. Yeah, we're getting spotted every time we poke here. Obviously artillery is looking at us as well, so we just need to be careful. We did land a shot into that heavy tank at the back, and at the moment it's just kind of just making sure that we can just stay safe from anything that could be sitting in the back there. So we're just poking out here just to try and see if we can get another shot on this E6. I think at this point it might just be worth going for it now. Kind of made the move, got spotted up, get a lovely shot on the move there on that FE. That's pretty ridiculous, to be honest, and yeah, probably shouldn't happen, but we just got behind that building just to avoid getting shot by artillery. Now we're just going to progress on. We've got a couple of tanks sort of helping us or coming with us. We've got cover basically, so we can make this push. And it looks like the team are now sort of progressing on the other side as well, and you can see the numbers kind of stacking up against the enemy team here. So my initial play is going to try and get these artillery pieces out. Unfortunately, we absolutely spoofed the shot there. Should have just stopped and aimed, but I'm going to have another go at it. Line up the shot, and we do get the shot in there. Unfortunately, we don't get a high roll, so we're going to have another go at taking out this artillery. Can we reload in time? We can. And now we can just carry on progressing, which I'm going to do straight into the corner, which I assume is where the rest of the enemy team is. So yeah, we're just going to make our way over, try and see what damage we can pick up here. Maybe we might be able to get a few more kills, who knows. We're coming in onto this G-saw, and yeah, again, just another filthy shot on the move. We do spot the waffle at the back there as well, so we're picking up a load of assistance here. He seems to be distracted. We've also spotted the artillery as well, so artillery is now getting hit. The waffle, I think, could be on reload. We squeeze another shot in, putting him down to pretty much near a one shot if we roll high enough. And now he's definitely one shot, but he gets taken out by our friendly SVAC. Bringing an end to that replay. So we'll see how we got on then. It's a bit of a mixed bag, bit of a mixture of good damage and good assist, but we only come second place there because the friendly Y tank tier 9 done really well, but we picked up 4.6k damage, a 3k assist, blocked about 1,000, picking up the first class. So yeah, it was just a nice mixture there. There's some filthy shots on that as well. Like I say, there's some of these shots that just shouldn't hit at all, but they do. I'll take them. You miss the shots that you don't take, don't you? But we're going to go into the third and final replay now. So we're on Pearl River, and I think my initial thoughts was to go on the left hand side whenever I'm on this spawn. To be fair, either spawn with a heavy tank, I'll either go up to the middle or I'll go down the B line. It's usually the B line that I try and go for, to be honest, because I just think that's a bit of a brawl spot. It's a good place for the heavies to sort of battle it out. So we can clear that flank. We can then sort of make our way into the middle, because you can get in the middle from there. You can take the risky route of pushing the way around into the middle, which is the quicker route, but it's the more dangerous route, because if you've got any TDs sort of camping back at J8 or H8, chances are they're going to hit you. They'll spot you and hit you as soon as you sort of come round that E7 section around there, which I'll show, because I do take that route I think in this one. I mean, you could double back and just come sort of through the middle that way. But yeah, so we've come up to this section and we immediately spot danger, but we avoid danger. We bounce the AP round off the FE 4005. We were quite lucky there. I think if that was a Hesh round, that could have done a bit more damage, but yeah, luckily we do get a shot into that FE 4005. We try penning the T57, but we only hit his track, I'm afraid. And that doesn't really do any damage. So again, just going to see what pops out. The FE 4005 pokes, but just doesn't quite poke enough for us to be able to get a clean shot onto him. Naturally, I don't want to progress until that FE 4005 is taken care of. And luckily, artillery comes in clutch and absolutely slaps him for over 1100. That was a huge shot right there. So yeah, credit to the artillery for that. And then the EBR manages to get a shot into the FE 4005. But now we've got this T-57 to deal with. Hopefully we can land another shot into the side, which we can, putting him down to a 2-shot to us, and hopefully we'll be able to take him out. So unfortunately our our EBR gets taken out and our Chol gets taken out. I'm going to push in. I was going to try and get some shots into that T-57 Heavy, but then unfortunately I've put myself into a bit of a crossfire here. Luckily the T-57 isn't firing at us, so I was kind of hoping that my teammates were going to sort of help and we could push on and take these tanks out. Now the T-57 comes around, he does manage to put a shot into us, and this is where we're in a little bit of trouble. Second shot does bounce, and then artillery does us a massive favour and takes him out for us. We're really lucky there not to get clipped by that T-57 Heavy. Going to move in on this MBT. Unfortunately tracks us, but I'd just like to face hug him to try and block the shots as best as possible. Like I say, turret armour is the best form of defence for this tank, but the MBT manages to squeeze a shot in, but he is now 1 shot. Just going to take our time to line up a shot and manage to take him out. But yeah, maybe it wasn't the right brawl to be doing there. We did kind of get, yeah, we probably had a load more hit points taken off us than ideally we would have liked, but you know, we just kind of had to progress this game. You can see the numbers are starting to dwindle a little bit here. We've got to push this flank so that we can try and help out in the middle. Come up against this VK here and tried going for the turret cheek, but unfortunately we bounced. Seems to be distracted by our friendly tank that's behind us. I'm going to aim for the lower plate now, which I do manage to pen. And our friendly heavy tank has come, slams a shot in. The VK fires, so we can now poke out safely, aim our shot. We actually high rolled massively there. I was really surprised at that. I thought that guy was a 2-shot for us, but luckily, yeah, we really high rolled to take out that VK. So that helps us. That means that we can now actually start progressing this game a bit more. We're going to move into the middle because the numbers are now even. So I'd like to help out the heavy tanks that are in the middle. If I can get over there quick enough, we might be able to sort of help our friendly heavy tanks, but I worry that we might be a little bit too late here. Damage wise we haven't done too bad. We've done just over 4.5k damage, 1200 assists, we've blocked just under 3k damage. And this is the section I'm talking about where it can be risky, because if you've got tank destroyers that are sitting at the back, if you get lit here you're going to die basically. So yeah, if it was a bit of a gamble, but it's the quickest route. Rather than going all the way around to get to where that mouse is, I can come here. Now what I can actually do here is I can put another secondary angle, so I can help our mouse out by putting an angle in here, and there's that MBT, or 60 TP should I say. We get a shot into the 60 TP. He's now backing up, so we're giving these tanks something to think about, but it doesn't look like that mouse is in a position where he can get shot off onto that 60 TP. Our friendly heavy tank is with us, and then we see the 114. We poke out to take a shot thinking, yeah, that was a risky play there. Probably should have just tried baiting the shot and angling a bit better. But yeah, we're trying to see if we can go for the 60 TP. Rogaldorn's in the middle, and we managed to get a shot into the Rogaldorn, shutting him down for our 3rd kill. And yeah, it's gonna see if we can line up a shot on the 114, which we do. We don't quite roll high enough to kill him, but then luckily our Object 277 does manage to take him out. Now we've got the 60 TP who's fired, but I didn't check the mini map, and yeah, it's not good because we have a Tyran on our right hand side. We managed to take out 60 TP, but now the Tyran is going to come and finish us off. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting the Tyran to be in the middle of the map, to be honest, but yeah, that's just unfortunately how it is. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll skip over to the results screen. I'm not going to sort of play the rest of the video. We'll skip ahead to see how we got on, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, we didn't quite get the win. Ends up being a loss there, but I think we didn't have too bad a game. We got 6.6k damage there. Picked up the ace tanker. I think we had 4 kills, a high caliber, a little bit of assistance in the process. So just unfortunate there we couldn't have got the win. But yeah, that's the IS-7, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do like and subscribe, because it does help the channel. And as always, I'll catch you next time.